Hello fellow stalkers, today we will be starting a new series. We will be starting Stalker 2 Mysteries. There's not enough content out there for discussing Stalker 2's lore, factions, stories, and cut content, stuff like that. So why don't we change that today? That is, if I could even keep up with the series, cause I'm a bit of a lazy prick when it comes to making YouTube videos. Nonetheless, today we will be talking about Korogod. Now, what is Korogod? Now, in the Stalker 2 map, in the Chernobyl Anomalous zone, you have several forests. The Red Forest, the Burnt Forest, and there is one more that was cut, the Korogod Forest. Now, all these locations we have either seen before or kind of know where they are in the map. But where's Korogod, you may ask? Well, the Korogod Forest was located behind the one and only That is right, the Duga radar. Now, if you're wondering why the region feels so small and lackluster in game, it's because there is way more to that. Behind the Duga radar originally, around 2018 to 2023, maybe a little more, the whole area behind Duga was the Korogod Forest, a region that was meant to play a huge role in the story of Stalker 2. I will show some concept art and I will give you tidbits on the lore of the area and even show you some direct translations of leaked documents. Now let's hope this video doesn't get taken down for that, so make sure you guys subscribe and like to show me your support and, help get this out there before everyone else forgets it and this video probably gets taken down. But I doubt that will happen. But yeah, Duga was way bigger originally. We don't know if it was two separate regions or one big one. It was most likely the former. Now first, before I show you the concept art of the region, which there's not much of, let's talk about the story. The purpose of the Korogod region was actually going to be the Doctor's place of living. That's right. Have you ever wondered why the Mirage in the Red Forest felt so out of place for the Doctor's home to be? Well, the reason why is because it was originally all the way at the back of the Korogod Forest, one of the furthest areas of the zone, and it would have been that region you saw in the Sea Consciousness ending of Shadow of Chernobyl. It made a lot of sense for the Doctor to be living here. The Red Forest is a very dangerous and very central area of the zone, and it made no sense for a Doctor to be living there. But Korogod was a perfect excuse for his hiding place all along. Now, other than that, Korogod was going to be a very dangerous yet lonely region. It was only going to be filled with a few stalkers and bandits, similar to how the outskirts of Malachite is. We know it was going to have several anomalies and the anomalous Korogod village. Now, we actually don't know much about the village itself, though from what I have read, I cannot find any proof of this as I've lost it. But there is concept art. I'll see if I can find it. It was going to be a very dangerous and anomalous village with overgrown vines, chemical anomalies, and fire anomalies all around it. That would have made it a very dangerous area to be at. That, along with its main landmark, was going to be the Korogod Church and its church bell. We don't really know what its significance was going to be, and we have seen this church in concept art, though we can't really guess what its main unique feature about its anomalous nature was going to be. From what I could predict from the concept art, it was most likely going to be a return of the psi columns that we saw in all the other Stalker games, and it would have just been a psi radioactive area. But other than that, it could be a spatial anomaly or something else, but we don't really have any other good guesses, so to speak. Other than that, there are only 2 other confirmed landmarks of the Corogod Forest area. The most important being X2, a secret laboratory that was most likely going to be a very dangerous area, but was also going to be the lab that apparently Kaimanov, which is the doctor, would have probably worked at. That and X3 being next to each other kind of correlates a lot and makes a lot of sense. The other landmarks you'd see would be several houses and villages that didn't really have any names, that were just ghost towns, and abandoned trains that are all overgrown with vines and anomalous roots or mutated mud, stuff like that. That, and we might have also had a huge abundance of electric anomalies. There is concept art that I've seen of an anomalous thunder field, which could be right next to the cordon, as it was stated in the concept art that right next to it, that whole gap that was originally the darkscape, was an anomalous thunderstorm that was lasting forever, similar to the anomalous tornado. But that could be in Korogod, as that's the only other region that is south of the zone that is very foresty that would have a lot of anomalies, and I don't really see the area sort of east of Cordon being a playable space anytime soon. I have 2 other things I also want to mention that came up while I was making this video. The theme you're going to be hearing throughout this video is actually the theme or OST that was going to be playing for Korogod itself. Now, the source is literally trust me, bro. I got this from a video with the same name, so take it with a grain of salt, but this could be official and it sounds really cool. The other thing worth mentioning is there was one more landmark that would have set this place apart from a lot of the other areas. This area would have had a crashed IL-76 plane. Now, I'm not a plane nerd, so I don't know what that means, but basically, there was a plane crash south of the destroyed bridge that connects Duga to the Korogod area. Now, the purpose of this, I don't know. It could have been some sort of spatial teleport anomaly, or a plane that happened to crash just before flying over the zone and hitting an aerial anomaly. We don't know. Maybe it was shot down. The only thing is, this area was cut and this went with it. Now, there is one popular theory going around that this plane was cut from being in the game due to the Ukraine-Russian war, and the appearance of a crashed plane during such a conflict would probably not be a good thing to show in a video game. Though I digress. I don't think this would be a thing that would be worth cutting for, as game development studios are a bit more ballsy than we think, especially one going through a war right now. I'd imagine they're pretty ballsy and wouldn't cut such a vague landmark just for the fear of possibly triggering someone online, honestly. Now, for the rest of this video, I will show more concept art, translations of the leaks, and maps, stuff like that, and I'll have words describing anything I need to describe about any of this. So other than that, that's it for me right now. Now editing me will take over. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe. I really need it, and I hope you enjoy.